Do you want to know the difference between real calm and fake calm? There absolutely is a difference. I'm Nicholeen Peck, and I teach all about calmness, good parenting, good communication, all through the lens of the principle self-government. And in this video, I want to make sure it's clear that you understand when you really are calm and when you're not. In this video, I'm going to share a story that I had with a woman and a bad example of calmness that we need to definitely be aware of. And then we're going to be talking about the differences between her situation and what real calmness should look like. And at the very end of this video, I've got a calm treasure that I'm going to give you for free. So recently I was speaking to a group of parents at a university, and while we were talking about calmness, a woman raised her hand and she said, "I am really struggling right now. I know that everybody else here wants calmness, but I've always thought of calm as a bad thing." That threw me off. What? It's a bad thing? And then she said, "Yeah, because my dad was incredibly controlling, and he was always so calm." And I thought, aha, we have been manipulated with the concept and the word calm so that actually she doesn't know what it means at all. She went on to say that her father would say these things to her that weren't kind, but always in calmness. And he would forcefully do things to the children, but always with this stoic calmness. But this is not calm. Just because I'm not yelling does not mean that I am calm. I could be manipulating a person. I hope you can feel that maybe even through the video, because it's totally different than when a person is totally fine on the inside. They're okay if somebody made a mistake. They're okay with who they are as they are trying to help the situation. They don't take it personally. This father took it personally. I looked at the woman and I said, "It sounds to me like he could potentially have been a narcissist." The husband of the woman went like this. He's like, yes, he totally was. Now, if you're dealing with someone like that, I do have videos on this channel related to narcissism that could definitely help you. So as you're searching the channel, you can search on those videos. But whether you're dealing with narcissism or not, this video is the first place that you want to start, because we really need to talk about what calmness is. So what it is not, the fake kind, is when somebody says, "I'm calm," but they're technically maintaining distance from you. They are putting up an emotional wall so that they can control you. That is fake calm. You don't want to be trying to have that calm. Now, I know for many people that's like step number one, because maybe their normal go-to is, yelling at a person. And so when they just hold back, they're feeling like, on the inside, but they're like, I'm okay. I'm okay. Okay, that might be step number one at finding calmness, because at least you're stopping the mouth, okay? But if you're still boiling over on the inside, it's going to come out one way or another. So true calmness is something that happens on the inside. Let's talk about that. I love the author William Jordan. He wrote an essay years ago called The Majesty of Calmness. His definition of calmness is amazing. I don't know if I can quote it exactly right now because I don't have it in front of me, but I'm going to share with you some of the key pieces that I like best. So he said that calmness is the rarest quality in human life. It is the poise of a great nature in harmony with itself and its ideals. Calmness is singleness of purpose, absolute confidence, and conscious power that's ready to be focused in an instant to meet any crisis. Calmness is self-centered, self-reliant, and self-controlled. These things all together culminate in that true feeling of calmness for a person. That's a lot of depth that's going on when a person is really calm. Have you ever met a truly calm person before? Well, I have. I've met a few of them, and I've got to say, those are the type of people that I want to be with in any time of trouble. Those are the people who are going to be okay no matter what happens. If they have to go out without food, they'll be okay. If they have to go without warmth, they'll be okay. In fact, they'll bring goodness to other people during their time of misfortune. People who are truly calm have a different outlook on life. They can accept things happening around them because they know that they are completely aware of what's going on the inside. They are in alignment within themselves. They have absolute confidence in their ability to self-center, to be in harmony with themselves and their ideals. They can live with principle and purpose even if things aren't going okay. And what's more than that, on the days where things are going well, when they have everything that they need, they still are calm and not selfish or take things personally. Having an affluent lifestyle is one of the key things that makes a person not calm. When you get everything you want all the time, you don't know that you can be okay without somebody else doing something for you. But a person that has to go through hardship, that has to get through the hard moments and know they're okay on the other side, that's a person who can be okay forever. So if you're having a hardship with your child right now maybe, or a spouse or a coworker, somebody at work, something that you might be experiencing in your life, maybe this is just the thing to teach you about calmness so that you can master yourself and learn self-government so that no matter what happens in the future, you can be okay. So I want to tell you about self-government. This whole channel is called Teaching Self-Government. In fact, my podcast is called Teaching Self-Government. My website is called teachingselfgovernment.com. You definitely should find yourself there because after this, you're going to want the Calm Parenting Toolkit. You're going to probably want the audio class that I did. It's like a 3-hour training called Dare to Take Command. There's another 7-hour training I did called The Value and Mastery of Emotions, so that you can understand your emotions, how to better express them, but also maintain calmness at the same time. There is also an audio class there called The Power of Calm. So there's so many things that you can utilize, whether you are parenting or not. Now I know that that website is usually dedicated to parents who are needing calmness. All of those other resources I shared are for anyone. In fact, the parenting principles are for anyone too. They're just adult skills. So don't be afraid to parent yourself toward calmness. When you are striving for calmness, you've got to remember who you are, where you're going, and who the other people are around you. Oftentimes we start buying lies about ourselves, who we are and what's happening to us, and who that other person is and what they're doing to us. We oftentimes start villainizing the person who is making life difficult for us, or the circumstance. Maybe it's the government, maybe it's the neighborhood, maybe it's whoever it is that might be making life hard for us. Let's not focus on excuses. Instead, let's focus on calmness. Okay, so you want to start on this calm track. This is a perfect first step because in any relationship, whether it's parenting relationship, husband and wife relationship, or any other friendship or relationship you have, the calmness starts with you. So we need to understand what's going on inside of us. So when you have an experience happen where somebody does something disappointing to you, or maybe even downright mean, how is it that you actually process that? When you experience that feeling of attack or that feeling like somebody doesn't care or somebody doesn't appreciate you, what is it that you think next? You've got to know what that is. And when you think that thing, do you know how to change it? So do you know how to say, now my trigger of frustration or this trigger of feeling like pain is not going to lead to me thinking, that person's no good, that person doesn't like me, I must attack that person, because that would be a non-productive thought to have. Now, instead, I am going to think, that person doesn't feel understood. That person doesn't know that I actually want to understand them. How can I help that person understand that I'm there for them, I want to understand them, I do care, even if they don't seem like they care? And now I know for many of us, we think, well, then aren't we just giving in and coddling to mistreatment all the time? No, absolutely not. There are certain words that you can say, scripts that you can have to rely upon to maintain that absolute confidence that we're looking for as a calm person. A calm person knows what to say. They know how to stand, they know what voice tone to use, and they know what to say to help a person get to a calm place too. When I was a treatment foster parent, I had some of the most out of control youth that our state had to offer living in my home, because my home was a treatment facility. I had to touch their hearts, help them be motivated to change their hearts and their behaviors without losing control on them. Because I knew that if I lost control, they would disconnect. And it would create a hostile environment. I didn't want that for my home, for my natural children who had to live there as well too. So what was I going to do? I'm this strong-willed person with this kind of spitfire-driven personality. Am I just going to drive that out-of-control teen off the emotional cliff all the time and have a power struggle? How would that help? It wouldn't. But am I going to coddle that teen that was in my home and be like, oh man, no, I do care about you. Other people, they might have been mean, but I'm not going to be mean. Don't worry. Da, da, da. No, it's okay. It's okay. No, I do like you. I do like you. Am I going to do that when they're yelling a power struggle in my face? No. I needed to know what to say and how to say it. But was I going to do it in the controlling way, like the fake calm, like that woman was telling me her dad behaved? No, because that would also be power struggling. So what do you do that doesn't create a power struggle? You do assertive communication. This means pre-planned communication. So I tell the person ahead of time, hey, right now, I'm going to disagree appropriately with you. That's a skill a child can use, or you can use with a boss or a spouse or anything. It's one of the 4 basic skills that I teach for children. Or I might say, hey, right now I'm going to do a correction. Remember, I taught you how I would do corrections before, and so here's the correction. Just now, I gave you a no answer about something, and this is how you behaved. And you start down this descriptive track that is doing a proper correction. So instead of emoting and reacting, I describe and start pointing people in the right direction. Now, if they don't go in the right direction when I start the correction, no problem. There's something else that I do if they are going to need intensive teaching because they're starting to lose complete control. And I'm not worried about using those skills and that script because I've used it so many times. So you practice again and again, and soon you always know what to say. Years ago, the BBC made a documentary of our family called The World's Strictest Parents, and they brought troubled teens to stay in our home for 8 days. When they asked us to be on this program, well, number one, you need to know I told them no, because I didn't want to be examined through that lens of TV. You never know what someone could do. But actually, you'll see on this channel as you watch my reaction videos to The World's Strictest Parents, how it actually went. And it went really well, and that's because we knew how to be calm. So when they said, hey, we're bringing you children that have these problems and these problems and these problems, they were trying to psych us out so that maybe we would lose control or get really controlling and power struggle when those teens showed up to our house. But guess what? I said to them, you know what? That's not going to be an issue. There's nothing that I haven't seen before. I'm not worried about it. And I think they thought I was bluffing, but it was true. And our episode became the most watched episode ever on the BBC because it was so calm. It is possible to be calm, but you have to know what to say and how to get yourself in the right place. Be sure to check out this free gift I have for you because it is a mini course that will start you on the path to calmness that will help you in your life, in all of your relationships. It is called the Calm Parenting Toolkit. It's on my website, teachingselfgovernment.com. There is a link to that in the description below this video. The link says teachselfgov.com/toolkit. And if you click on that link, you can get the Calm Parenting Toolkit for free. So click on the link to that toolkit now, and I'll see you there.